My bad. I'm live now. Go to my new live. I apologize, guys. Go to my new live. My bad. That's on me. That's on me. That's on me. All right. So if you go to my new live, you should be good. I apologize. All right. Okay. So we're looking in the fourth round, and I see that you got Brees Hall, Josh Jacobs. So I'm not really worried about running backs at this point. I like looking at the remaining receivers. To me, um, I actually really like Michael Pittman. I'm going to go Pittman there in the late fourth round. I like Pittman a lot, and I think as my wide receiver two, it's okay. He has the upside of wide receiver one. Okay, so it went Brees Hall, Cooper, Waddle, Judy. Now back to me at this point. You got Josh Jacobs, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Godwin, Sutton, Kyler Murray, Elijah Mitchell, all those guys. Okay, so we're starting to get to the kind of lower tier players at this point. To me, I really like getting Lamar Jackson here. I just think that he has kind of the elite upside that you're looking for, especially he is basically a running back that plays quarterback. I like that guy. I like the weapons of Bateman and uh, Mark Andrews. I could go with Burrow, um, but to me, I just feel like Lamar Jackson is just another level of fantasy value. And it's not dynasty. If it's dynasty, I'm going Burrow, but redraft, I like Lamar. So go Lamar. Okay, so if you guys are following me on Twitch, I tried to re-upload. Looks like we had an issue with Twitch, but we should be good now. All right, Yee. All right, you in? Good, 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 good. All right. So, okay, so now I'm looking at the next couple players. Again, you got Mike Evans, Saquon, Lamar Jackson. These guys are probably most likely probably taking a QB here, which is good. Um, so I'm looking. Okay, so we got. Let's go to flex position. Kind of eliminate quarterbacks real quick. So Damian Harris, no. AJ Dillon is okay. Um, Brandon Cooks is criminally underrated, but I don't feel like we're getting any upside with that. No, no, no. Um, so to me, if I'm looking at this right now, I like the stack, but I think I can get it in the back end. Um, Mooney's okay, but I think Juju here kind of has the upside of beating everybody at this point. Young guy. I know that everybody hates on Juju, this, that, and the other, but I just really think that he has the ability to kind of just be that guy, that wide receiver one. So to me, as my wide receiver three, I'm really okay with the upside here because I think the upside is better than Mooney. Drake London's a rookie. Traylon Burks questionable. Brandon Cooks. What is he getting out of David Mills? I don't know. He's a great player, but David Mills is David Mills. Like, what's going on? So to me, I actually like Juju Smith-Schuster here. So I'm gonna go with Smith-Schuster and Cooks and Mooney. Cool. I still feel good about that. So, and then Lamar Jackson. So there's two little spots I like. I could go Bateman or I could go Devonta Smith. To me, I do like the stack of Bateman here. I do, but I want to see if I could get him a little bit later. So I'm gonna reach on Devonta. I think Devonta is a guy that's prime for a breakout, in my opinion. We'll see if Bateman can make it back to me. Probably not, but if he does, great. Um, we'll see what happens. Let's see. So you got snagged right there. So I knew he was gonna fall, but I thought maybe he might make it back to me. Obviously, he didn't. That's okay. Not a big deal. Okay, so looking at what's remaining over here, to me, I gotta look at. Okay, so I got four wide receivers that I'm really comfortable with. At this point, I'm looking at either tight end or running back. So to me, I like either Tony Pollard or James Cook. I think because James Cook is down here, I could get Tony Pollard now and then possibly James Cook on the back end. So I'm gonna go Tony just because I like the upside of Dallas. I really feel like there's a chance, right? So look, so like I said, I thought that I get James Cook, And sure enough, I did. So I'm going to go back-to-back running backs here. And again, Tony Pollard is more of a RB4, but I'm just using value at this point. I kind of like. I knew James Cook was kind of come on the back end, and so I like James Cook as my RB3. Tony Pollard, if Zeke were ever to go down, I like that. So okay, cool. So moving forward, so the best first two picks were drafting from the 110. Anthony, what we'll do is I'll mock draft from the 110. So if you stay with me this whole time, I'll mock draft with you. Okay. So at this point, I'm looking at, again, looking at just kind of best player available. Okay. What's my opinion on Robert Woods? So Robert Woods, for me, I'm not a big fan of Robert Woods. I just think that there's no theoretical upside there. Tennessee is not doing well at building a squad around offense. To me, it's going to be all Derrick Henry and nothing else. So I'm fading the Titans. I just don't see any upside. Like I can't see the Titans being an offensive juggernaut. You know what I'm saying? Like I just can't see that. So all right. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and go with Kadarius Toney for the upside at wide receiver, and I'm going to see what happens on the back end. I do like Alan Lazard, and of course he is there. So I'm going to take both Alan Lazard and Toney. I think those are guys that are, again, I think Toney is a prime breakout candidate, and Alan Lazard can be that number one on Green Bay. Mike, the Titans are well coached to be bad. Like, I would agree with you there. Totally agree with you. I think they are coached well. But in regards to being bad, there's a difference between being a good football team and being scary versus a fantasy team, right? So I just don't think like they're going to put up more than 25 points a game, right? And you kind of want those elite, talented offenses all the time. So to me, losing an AJ Brown, dude, that's huge. Like I understand that he was injured, this that, and the other, but I just don't see it happening. Like I feel like last year when you're talking about they're winning games with no receivers, no Henry, I just feel like that was more of an outlier in a sense. So to me, like I said, they're a good team, they're a good squad. I'm not denying that, but for fantasy, I just don't see it, man. So yeah, anybody but Henry, I'm there with you. Okay, so so I'm looking at it. Barkley, Evans, Pittman, Juju, Lamar Jackson. So everybody here, for me, I'm going to go the upside of Rachaad White. I really like Rachaad White as a pass catcher and to dominate carries if Leonard Fournette were to go down. I really like Rachaad White there. And it just gives me another running back, okay? Because, again, it's not too late to get running backs in your drafts. So, all right, so we have a few rounds left. Okay, so I'm looking at tight ends at this point. So I think we need a tight end. Rondo Moore, no. Aguilar, no. So you got Njoku, Devontae Parker. See, you're kind of running into players that really are not that talented. So for tight ends, there's really a couple tight ends that you may be looking at. Again, most of these guys, the ones that I really like, have already been taken. So the best theoretical upside at the tight end position is Njoku. I'm going to take Njoku. Super athletic, was a stud in college. Give me Njoku. All right. So let's see where we're at on the back end here. The other guys that I really like that, if you are fading the tight end position, Austin Hooper for the Titans. You can also say that Robert Tonyan could be there. Gerald Everett could be there. But at this point, I'm going to fade the tight ends. There's really no one that I want to really attack. So yeah. Okay. So I like Daniel Jones. I like Jared Goff as a QB. Also like Winston here. But I can wait. Can wait on a QB still. Okay. Now for receivers, all right. So you got David Bell, who I really think is going to be a great rookie. That's again in these later rounds, you kind of want to shoot for theoretical upside at the position. So to me, if there's any running backs that might have a chance at becoming running back ones, you kind of want to just take a few of those. But I feel like you can wait a little bit. So to me, I'm going to go with David Bell. He's been lighting up in in practice. QBs on the board are Matt Ryan, Winston, Mac Jones, Wilson, Tannehill, Daniel Jones, Carson Wentz, Jared Goff. So there's still a few good quarterbacks on the board. I'm going to kind of wait on that, just kind of looking at what's going on. So David Bell seems to be my play. I think he is a new Jarvis Landry. So let me get David Bell here. Okay, so Winston and Matt Ryan just got took. I'm not really worried about that. So let's just kind of look into the receivers if there's anything else that we may want to look into. At this point, these guys are all pretty much, home run picks at this point. Tight end, no. Running back. Okay, so this is where I'm going to kind of reach because at this point, there's really nothing that's outstanding left except the quarterbacks. So I like to get rookie running backs that I feel like have a chance to explode, and then you can trade even your some of these guys that come on. So for me, I'm going to go with Tyron Davis-Price, San Francisco. I like that pick. I just feel like, again, it's a reach, but at the same time, there's really nothing in this section that makes it like worth taking. Like look at this. Tanyan doesn't have a theoretical upside. Damon Williams doesn't have a theoretical upside. You're taking kickers, Herbert, Williams, Gus, Brian Robinson. Okay, maybe Herbert, Zamir White, sure, and Foreman. I mean, really, like I said, nothing. Aaron, I like that. Yeah, Mark Ingram, that's a good one. Someone that I could, again, if someone's injured, you could also probably trade him to the guy that has Ingram. Kamara. I like that. So to me, yeah, I'm with you there. So let's take Mark Ingram. Wow. So he's going to be the starter. He knows the system, all that stuff. Oops. All right. Going back down to me. Okay. So again, I don't see any the quarterbacks that I like. Daniel Jones or Jared Goff. Okay. So I'm going to go with Daniel Jones here. I just like, again, I like Zamir White and a couple other guys got taken. So I want to get a quarterback, and I like Daniel Jones. I'm going to pair that with the Kadarius Toney. So get my stack here. Daniel Jones. Cool. What can you realistically get for Calvin Ridley in Dynasty? Okay, so for me, realistically, I think that maybe a couple second round picks, maybe in 2023. If you had Calvin Ridley, to be honest, man, his value's in the dirt. I would just keep him. I'm just keeping him. And so for me, there's no really. I'm not trading Calvin Ridley now. If I might buy Calvin Ridley, but I'm not trading him. So, okay. So last pick, I took Jared Goff again, just kind of shore up that QB2 position. I have 3 QBs. I like Jared Goff's weapons. I like the offensive line, and it just kind of solidifies getting that QB2. Okay. All right. So now I'm done with QBs. I don't need to worry about that. Kind of looking at the tight end position, and there's not really much remaining at this point. But to me, I think you got to go with Austin Hooper. I think that guy, who has proven to be a good tight end in the past, going to Tennessee, they don't have much, and no theoretical wide receiver 1 at this point. Still, you got Woods, he's going to be wide receiver 1. Treylon Burks, they're hoping to be the next AJ Brown, but really, we have no idea. And to me, I think that Hooper's going to be a guy that gets you like 4 to 5 catches a game, and really is your tight end too. It's all you're looking for. Okay, so back to it. For me, now I have the last 2 picks. So at this point, I'm going to look at defense, and then I'm going to look at kicker, right, to finish up my squad. So when I look at the defense, I'm going to look at teams that are going to be good, teams that have a good defense as well. So Denver would be someone that stands out to me. The Eagles would also be someone that I consider. And then it's pretty much it seems about that's going to be about it. Yeah. So I look at it and I go, okay, well, I kind of like the Denver Broncos at this point. I just think Denver, has a good squad. They're going to run the ball. They're going to be careful with the ball with Russell Wilson. Not a lot of turnovers. Keeping the defense honest. So, yeah. All right, so last pick here is going to be a kicker, right? All right, so then when I look at a kicker, I try to take a kicker on a good offense and preferably in a dome if I can. Let's see. So Prater's not bad. Seems like the only guy that's left that actually do anything. So yeah, we'll probably just go with Prater. Um, Arizona, not too bad. Cool. Potter, do a draft with people and rate them again. Man, that's gonna take me forever, dude. I ain't gonna lie. Um, but we will do that. We will definitely do a draft with people for sure. Definitely, definitely, definitely. So, um, anyway, if you guys look at the squad, you got Lamar Jackson's my QB1, Eckler, Barkley, Mike Evans, Pittman, Juju, Javante, and then some theoretical upside at the running back position. You got Pollard, Cook, White, Davis, Ingram, um, and then your receivers: Mike Evans, Pittman, Juju, Devonta Smith, Tony Lazard, David Bell. Um, Tight ends are kind of weak at this point, but theoretical upside with Njoku and a solid, just maybe bye week filler or injury filler for Austin Hooper with the Denver Broncos and the Matt Prater kicker for the Cardinals. Cool. So that is my mock draft there. And yeah, I thought I did pretty solid mock draft. We could be doing a new mock draft here shortly or whatever. But anyway, yeah. What are you guys? You guys are still rocking with me. I appreciate you guys again. Don't We got the uh, the rankings coming out, the draft kit coming out soon. It'll be free. All that we ask is that you guys like, comment, share, tag us, all that type of stuff. Make sure that we get as many people as we can to our page. But like I said, it is free, and we want you guys to enjoy that type of stuff free of charge for us. But like I said, all we ask is that you follow us and get our names out there because again, we want to be the best account on TikTok, man. I think we created a great account last year, and all the way up to 26,000 followers. We want 50, man, and we can't do it without your help. We need your guys' help, so help us out and let us become the greatest TikTok account for fantasy ever, right? Okay, so here's a good page. If you guys don't know, and there's some people that probably have used this page for a long time, remember it being Roto World, which is my favorite name of the website. But this is actually a really good page. Something to look at if you guys are ever needing to know like updates and about players and sports. This is a great page to go to. If you guys have never been there, right now it's NBCSportsEdge.com, but it used to be RotoWorld. It is my favorite page for news. It's also good if you are big on Twitter. You see where it says like sources right here. Sometimes their sources are Twitter accounts. What I like to do is I follow those pages, so I'm always updated on Twitter. Twitter has really the most updates that you can get um, on players, but for me, um, this is a great website. So if you guys have never heard about this page, which I'm sure in fantasy you guys have probably heard it, but if you haven't, go to NBCSportsEdge.com. It's kind of where I get all of my stuff. Cool. Guys, stop commenting. I don't think you can read comments. Have I seen the new Harley Quinn movie? Yeah, Birds of Prey. I thought it was cool. That's the only one I saw before. All right. So then another page as well that I use often is going to be Player Profiler. Great page. Recommend it for sure. Matt Kelly created the page. He's the Podfather on Twitter. Great, great website. Great content. All that stuff, man. Player Profile is where you get all the latest information about data. All right, data. So here's an example. Right, we'll click on Bateman. Kind of shows you, hey, his best comparable player, what his height is, weight is, arm length, draft pick, college, age, what he did in college, all that type of stuff, his speed, all of that, man. So, you know, great page for looking at prospects and evaluating prospects. It also helped me kind of evaluate the rookies and kind of figure out, hey, who has the opportunity to be a good player, especially when you're in dynasty. You need to understand like all of these type of stuff. So, yeah, not a great start with two people. What do you mean not a great start with two people? What in my live? Oh, I don't care, man. I don't really care if who's in my live or not. Um, I appreciate you being in my live, but I'm not really tripping. Whoever wants to be in the live is cool. Whoever wants to bounce out, that's cool too. I ain't tripping, man. Not tripping at all. Um, so here's a good way to look at formulas for player profiler, right? So if you go to data analysis, you look at wide receivers, right? This is kind of my formula, and feel like it's kind of worked in a sense. So let me kind of give you kind of what I look for when it comes to data, right? So first things first, you want to look at height, inches, weight, right? You're going to look at the draft year, the draft pick, and then you're going to come up to college performance. So what did they do in college? Are they dominated? What was their breakout age? What was their yards per reception? Right? And then you go up to their speed and their burst, right? So these are the metrics that I use to find good players, right? So you get results. Let's see if I can get in here. Cool. So hopefully download the table. And we're going to find solid rookies, right? So let's see if, of course. Dang it. All right. Well, let's see running backs then. Same thing, right? So we go height, height inches, weight, draft year, draft pick, um, dominator, college target share, college yards per carry, speed, and burst score. Right. Cool. So, and we'll just go to rookies and see if that'll help me here. Cool. So download the table. Cool. All right. I don't know why the receivers aren't pulling up. All right. So here's what I look at for running backs, right? So this is the entire 2022 class, right? The biggest thing is going to be draft capital. All right. So guys, So the biggest thing is you want to draft guys that are within the first 4 rounds. That's usually a good start. A good indicator as to who are going to be the good rookies, right? So let's fill that out, right? The next one is going to be you're going to want to look at their weight, right? So the smaller these guys are, the better chance of them not being good, right? You want guys that are big, right? You want solid guys. Most of the guys you kind of want, there are some outliers at 195. So I usually go 195 and up, right? Now these bigger guys are probably not someone that you want to look at, but they're okay. Usually you want a guy around 207 to 225 pounds. That's usually the range. And then you want to go for height, right? So you're looking at height. You want guys that are at least 5'10" or greater. So 5'10" or greater. Boom, boom, boom. Let's highlight that. All right. Then you're going to want to go to college dominator. Okay. So anything above 20 for me is usually a good indicator of, hey, if you can do it in college, you can dominate in college, then your chances of dominating a pros are good. All right, and then college target share. So you want guys that are at least 7.5. And what does that mean? It just means how many receptions per completions did this particular running back do? And most of the RB1s in the league have college target shares over 7.5. Okay, so majority of these guys are over 7.5. Yards per carry. All right, so you want high yards per carry. Anything over 4.5 is acceptable. So 4.5, fill those out. Oops. Fill them out. Cool. And then the speed score, right? Setting speed score. You want anything at least over 100 for its athletic speed. And then you want a burst score, anything over 118. That's kind of ideal. 118. Boom. Okay, cool. And then, yeah. All right. So usually we sort this by draft capital. So ascending draft capital. And you want to just look at, hey, who are the guys that kind of meet that criteria, right? So as you can see, Brees Hall kind of hits every metric that you're looking for. So you know that this guy is going to be good. He will be good. All right. The next guy up, in my opinion, is going to be Rashad White. Hits every single metric. All right. So there you go there. And then there isn't really anyone left at this point. Now, the one that I will say that I'm intrigued by is Pierre Strong, right? So he didn't hit a college target share of 7.5, but it's 6.4. It's still pretty solid. So I usually like to give him a hey, I'm going to kind of keep my eye on this guy, right? So biggest red flags right here, Isaiah Spiller, big red flag. Very not so good in the speed department. And typically with running backs, you got to be explosive in order to be a solid running back. So stay away from Isaiah Spiller in Dynasty. And then Zamir White, he's very low on the catch total. Again, maybe the college didn't do him any favors, but to me, Zamir White has the speed. So you love him there, but he's kind of reminds me of like a Nick Chubb. Not going to catch the ball, Derrick Henry, not going to catch the ball. Solid RB2, really, really good RB2, low end RB1 upside is where I believe he could be. Cool. So hopefully that gives you an idea of who to take in Dynasty. There's little tidbits here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And to be honest, man, it's time to bounce. So thank you guys for hanging out with us. Appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Peace.